We're here to talk about a case study that's going onto our website. We installed this heat pump just over a year ago at a 4-bed end of terrace London property. I think it was built around 1910, circa 1910. This family came to us, young couple with a baby, professional couple with a small baby, and it was important for them to have a reliable system for their home. We went and done a survey. We found that their existing boiler it had to be at least 50 years old, an old cast iron open flue boiler, permanent pilot gas supply, probably one of the most inefficient boilers left out there. So we spoke to them, understood what their needs were, what was important to them. That reflected our design. We made sure that the system was going to run exactly how they would prefer it to run. So the design conditions and performance criteria for this installation in particular was they had a heat loss of just over 7 kilowatts, 7.75, and that was to warm their home to 21 degrees when it was -2 degrees outside. So majority of the time that heat loss is a lot lower. It's going to be running a lot lower flow temperatures. We actually designed the system to run at a maximum of 50 degrees flow temperature. And again, it's only going to be reaching that 50 degrees flow temperature when it's -2 outside. With our weather compensation controls to maximize their efficiency, it's going to be running at a lot lower flow temperatures for 95% of the time. As part of the installation, we had to convert their existing heating system from an open vented system, which you might have tanks in the loft. We had to convert that to a pressurized system. So we had to take into consideration existing pipe work where there might be failures because the system's going to be under a lot more pressure than it was before. As part of that installation, we changed 6 out of 9 radiators. And so as part of that project, we changed 6 out of the 9 radiators so that we could run their system as low as possible. And the lowest we could run with the heat loss that they had was 50 degrees flow temperature. And on this installation, we installed the Valent Aerotherm Plus 7 kilowatt. Installed equipment and the key components of the system comprised of a Valent Aerotherm Plus 7 kilowatt heat pump, coupled with a Valent 150 litre slimline Unistore cylinder. To meet our preferred minimum volume on the system, we added a Zilmet 50 litre volumizer. What this does is when the property is going through a defrost cycle, it's ensuring that there's enough volume of water there for the heat pump to reverse itself and carry out its defrost function without the homeowner experiencing a drop in temperature inside the property. If that volume was borderline on the minimum, there's a risk of, whilst it's defrosting, the temperature dropping inside the property. Then this will result in, after it's finished defrosting, the heat pump then sees that the property is a lot cooler than it should be, then starts to work harder to get back up to that temperature, and then starts a defrost cycle again, which then contributes to low efficiency, high running costs. And you may have heard it mentioned as a defrost cycle, where it's defrosting itself, then working its way back up to warm the home, then having to defrost again. So by having this extra volume of water there, we have a rule of thumb of 15 to 20 litres per kilowatt. It's making sure that the homeowner doesn't experience a decrease in room temperature whilst the heat pump is going through its defrost cycle. Our design philosophy and control strategy for this installation was to be for real world operation of being stable and low temperature. We control the system through the Valent Senso Comfort controls, which we can access remotely as well. So in those early weeks post installation, we can tweak things without necessarily having to go to site. We can monitor things that may become an issue and nip them in the bud so that the homeowner doesn't experience those little teething problems at the beginning. With the sensor, so with the Valent Senso Comfort controls, we set those up for a low, stable operation, nothing too aggressive, so we ain't working the heat pump too hard. We want that heat pump running for as low and slow as possible. After visiting this installation 1 year on to carry out their annual service, we looked at the performance of the system, and across that 1 year, the compressor runtime was 2,741 hours. The compressor starts time is 2,075 times. This works out at just over 1 start per hour, which we're aiming for less than 3 starts an hour. So to have it start less than 1 start per hour is really good. That's exactly what we're going for. The heating SCOP over the year was at 4.5, and the hot water SCOP is at 3.9. So again, these are real world numbers in a lived-in family home, getting a SCOP even better than what we said they were going to get. This installation, although we tried to be perfect, we did have a couple of teething problems. Firstly, the customer reported that the pressure kept dropping. Initially, we suspected that it could be because we joined onto their old open vented system, some pipework we couldn't see in floors, but this was upstairs, so we suspected that we'd see some signs on the ceiling if that leak was there. We got up floors downstairs that, again, pipework we hadn't touched, but we're trying to find a leak from the customer. We did find a leak under the floor. We fixed that, went away, thought that was us. Again, eventually we got down to a fault with the expansion vessel. I think we just got unlucky with a faulty expansion vessel. So we changed that, all at no extra cost to the customer. We took the hit on that, and then they've had no pressure loss issues since. The other issue they had was they reported a noise coming from where the cylinder was. It's a difficult one. We asked them, so when customers report noises, it's difficult to always get to the bottom of it, because you'll ask them to do an impression of the noise, and their impression might not match what you're expecting to hear. So we asked the homeowner to record the noise. That gave us a little bit to narrow it down. Then we remotely looked at what the heat pump was doing when it was making those noises, and we found that it was in hot water mode. Then we found that the flow rate going through the diverter valve was excessive. It didn't need to be that high to go through the coil. So we reduced that down. They were still getting a little bit of noise. We end up changing the diverter valve. We've put that diverter valve in, and we've not had no noise since. Since then, we've sort of come to realise, we learned from that particular diverter valve isn't really suited for a 7 kilowatt flow rate. So now we've moved over for our 7 kilowatt flow rates and above. We've gone over to a different style of valve, and we've not had no problems anywhere else. This homeowner now benefits from high efficiency, stable, predictable heating and hot water, comfortable within their property. This installation, I think, demonstrates the importance in getting the right design, the right control strategy, and also demonstrates our commitment to aftercare with our customers. We don't want the performance figures to just look right on day one. We're there to make sure that our homeowners get the right performance through the life cycle of their installation. So what is a SCOP? You'll hear it all the time. What is a SCOP? A SCOP is the seasonal coefficients of performance for your appliance, for your heat pump. And that's over a calendar year, point to point, of how much energy are you getting out of that appliance, in our case, a heat pump. How much energy are you getting out for the energy that you're putting in? So we've got case studies on our website you can look at where we have SCOPs of 4.5. That homeowner, from 1 unit of electricity, every 1 unit of electricity they're using, their heat pump is giving them 4.5 times the amount of energy to warm their home. This is important because this is what leads to lower running costs of the system. You'll hear all these horror stories about heat pumps are expensive to run, heat pumps are not efficient. This is because they've not been designed properly. They've not got the right control strategy. They've not been installed correctly. If you do those things right, there's nothing stopping a heat pump working.